The day Jake Paul totally smashed Nate Diaz in the boxing ring was epic, totally brutal. This hype event happened on August 5th, 2023 in the USA with Nate Diaz and Jake Paul headlining one of the most anticipated boxing matches of the year. 10 intense rounds. Before this fight, both fighters had already faced some serious contenders. Jake Paul, for instance, had taken on folks like Nate Robinson and Tyron Woodley, showing steady improvement in his boxing skills. Pure dynamite. Meanwhile, Nate Diaz in the UFC squared off and defeated big names like Conor McGregor and Tony Ferguson, showing off his polished technique by finishing both opponents. Pure style. The lead up to the fight was marked by intense psychological warfare, especially from Jake Paul, who didn't hold back in trying to psych out Nate Diaz. When the announcer popped the question to Jake, he shot back instantly.
Jake, would you say Nate is the toughest opponent you faced yet?
I think he's the dumbest opponent yet.
Annoyed, Diaz clapped back at Jake's remark.
Bring the monkey out, dog. Bring your fucking stuffed animal out.
Jake spilled the beans.
I promise I'm gonna be the first person to make this man go to sleep. Unconscious Nate. Unconscious Nate.
Grilled by the audience, Jake didn't hesitate and hit back hard.
If you run into this man away from the cameras all alone, how does that play out in real life?
I'm gonna bend him over and fuck him like a cowboy.
Diaz got heated and started hurling insults at Paul, who responded with a scoff.
You're the fucking bad guy, and this little fuck right here needs the ass whip. And fuck your dad, too. How about that? Fuck your whole shit.
I'm so scared. Nate's mad.
During the weigh-in, Diaz threw another jab, and Jake matched the energy.
Don't forget, this motherfucker can't really fight. Motherfucker. Fuck you. Hey, love, I'll see you next time. See you tomorrow.
I'm fucking him up, Ariel. I'm fucking him up.
On the night of the fight, Jake entered with confidence but was booed. Meanwhile, Nate entered with the calm of someone who's faced giants before and was cheered. After the referee gave the instructions, the fighters shook hands and the fight began. Hey fighter! Before you keep watching the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on a knockout. First round. From the get-go, the tension was palpable, and both fighters started on the defensive. Jake Paul went on the offensive with a cross, followed by other punches that missed the mark. But he didn't give up, and with a mix of youth and aggression, threw a series of powerful punches. His determination was clear in every move, and after a quick flurry of punches, he landed a cross that hit its target hard. Nate Diaz responded with a precise straight, trying to skillfully dodge Jake's attacks. Diaz absorbed some punches but came out almost unscathed, showing his ability to handle the pressure. The first round ended with a clear advantage for Paul, scoring 10-9. Making it clear the fight would be tighter than expected. Second round! In the second round, Nate dodged a cross from Jake and managed to connect with some crosses and uppercuts. Persistent, Diaz landed a clean straight to Paul's face. Jake quickly cornered Nate against the ropes, in addition to connecting a straight afterward. Moreover, he launched a series of powerful hooks, showing relentless aggression. The fighters exchanged intense blows, ending up in a clinch, forcing the referee to step in to separate them. At a critical moment, Paul landed 3 crosses to Diaz's face, staggering his opponent. The round ended with a clear advantage for Jake, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard. With that score, Paul opened up a 2-point lead, making the fight even more thrilling. Third round. In the third round, Nate stepped up the attack, landing 2 effective crosses after several attempts. Not satisfied, Diaz managed to connect 2 crosses to the abdomen and 1 to the face of Paul. With an aggressive pace, Nate threw a series of punches to Jake's face. The fight heated up, with fierce exchanges of blows between the fighters. Jake didn't lag behind and landed an uppercut, followed by a cross and another uppercut. With the fight at a rapid pace, Jake took advantage of a gap and connected a combination of cross, straight, and another cross to Diaz's face. The intensity increased, and Jake, with redoubled aggression, landed a straight to the face and an uppercut to Nate's abdomen. At a decisive moment, Jake managed to connect a straight to the face, along with a powerful cross on Nate. When the third round came to an end, Jake managed to score 10-9 on the scoreboard, widening his lead to 3 points and adding even more excitement to the duel. Fourth round. At the start of the fourth round, Jake Paul entered boasting and managed to connect an uppercut and a sequence of crosses and straights to Diaz's face. Though some of those punches missed the mark, he landed 2 straights that scored important points. As the minutes passed, the exchange of blows only increased the tension in the ring. Nate, however, wasn't intimidated and took every opening Jake left to counterattack with a sequence of uppercuts. In a direct exchange, Nate landed some crosses to Paul's face, in addition to a clean uppercut. At a critical moment, Diaz launched a series of blows, in addition to a straight to the face. Almost at the end of the round, Jake landed a precise uppercut on Nate, who returned with another. The round ended with an advantage for Nate Diaz, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard. With that score, he was 2 points behind Jake Paul. Fifth round. In the fifth round, Nate Diaz adopted a more defensive stance, visibly tired. Despite the fatigue, he threw a series of powerful punches, showcasing his skill. Diaz, with his vast experience, landed 2 uppercuts and a straight on Jake. The two exchanged intense blows, demonstrating great resilience and strength. Jake consistently pressed Diaz, and after some glancing blows, landed a notable uppercut. Cornering Diaz against the ropes, Jake launched a powerful uppercut followed by several straights. At a critical moment, Jake Paul achieved a decisive knockdown, knocking down Nate Diaz with a precise blow. Nate, with incredible determination, quickly got up, standing firm until the end, and still launched a strong cross. The round ended with Jake Paul clearly ahead, scoring 10-8 on the scoreboard after a spectacular knockdown. With that score, Paul opened a 4-point lead, making it clear he was determined to emerge victorious. Sixth round! In the sixth round, Jake launched an attack, landing 2 precise straights. With agile movements, Paul explored every opportunity, launched powerful combinations, and a devastating cross. Paul, always alert, looks for a gap to land his sequence of punches. The fighters resorted to the clinch to catch their breath, but the intensity of the fight did not decrease. Nate, cunning, strategically counterattacked, dodging and aiming to land decisive blows. Determined to win, Diaz cornered Jake against the ropes and launched a series of blows. The round ended with Diaz taking the advantage, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard. Although he was 3 points behind in the overall score, the dispute was far from over. Seventh round. In the seventh round, Diaz launched an attack, looking for gaps to strike at Paul. Nate, with incredible resilience, tried to connect crosses, dodging and combining blows that staggered Jake. The fighters exchanged intense blows in a display of strength and technique. Jake, although pressured, took any gap to counterattack with a fierce sequence of fists, landing a devastating cross. Paul, not falling behind, connected an uppercut to Diaz, trapping him against the ropes. The round ended with Jake Paul ahead, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard, extending his lead to 4 points, increasing the pressure on Nate Diaz. Eighth round. Already in the eighth round, both fighters launched sharp punches that cut the air. Jake, with evident determination, landed 2 uppercuts and a powerful straight. In a moment of clarity, Paul connected an overwhelming cross. Skillfully, Paul dodged and counterattacked with an uppercut followed by a powerful cross. The two exchanged heavy punches, displaying remarkable strength and resilience. With his guard up, Nate advanced, connecting a cross and a straight. Diaz, without giving respite, launched another devastating uppercut. In the final moments, he fired a sequence of crushing blows. The round closed with Diaz ahead, scoring 10-9, reducing the difference to 3 points, keeping the dispute tight and unpredictable. Ninth round. With the pressure mounting, the ninth round began with Jake attacking Nate mercilessly. Every blow was a brutal lash, wanting to dominate from the start. Determined, Jake launched a precise straight, followed by an uppercut and a right cross. Full throttle, he didn't stop, he retreated, but attacked relentlessly with a sequence of blows. The fighters, thirsty for victory, had several direct exchanges. Diaz, keeping his guard high, dismissed Jake's blows, implying they were weak. Nate stood firm, managed to land a precise uppercut on Jake. Diaz, showing his incredible resilience and skill, did not give up and managed to connect a straight. At the end of the round, the fighters launched a sequence of intense blows, seeking to dominate the fight without giving quarter. The round ended with a clear advantage for Paul, who managed to score 10-9 on the scoreboard, increasing his lead to 4 points. Now, for Diaz, the only hope was a knockout to turn the game around. 10th round! In the 10th round, it was all or nothing for Nate Diaz, who needed a knockout to secure the victory. Nate was giving it his all, moving forward, pressing Paul, who kept his guard closed. In a moment of the battle, Diaz gestured, and karma hit hard. Jake landed an uppercut and a cross. Furious, Nate moved forward with a sequence of blows and landed a cross on Jake. In a critical moment, Diaz challenged Jake to hit, who responded with precision, including a standout uppercut. Diaz did not ease the pressure, pushing Paul against the ropes with a series of effective blows. The exchange of blows intensified, and even with the judge's intervention during the clinch, the battle continued fiercely. Jake, keeping distance, took advantage of every opening to attack, pressing Diaz against the ropes with a sequence of heavy punches. Paul showed his cunning, reading every move and counter-attacking with precision. The fight ended with a wide advantage for Jake Paul, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard, consolidating a unanimous decision victory with a 5-point lead thanks to his determination and skill. At the end of the fight, Nate embraced Jake, recognizing the sportsmanship and mutual passion for combat. With this victory, the YouTuber received an impressive remuneration. It's estimated that Jake Paul received a fixed amount of $2 million, plus the pay-per-view revenue, accumulating a total of $10 million. On the other hand, Diaz, although not reaching the same figures, also earned a significant amount. Some sources speculate that he received an amount of $500,000, plus the pay-per-view, totaling $5 million. At the end of the fight, Jake challenged Diaz to a future rematch in MMA, creating anticipation for perhaps another major event.
So there's the offer on the table, $10 million in MMA next fight. Is that what you want to do next?
Yeah, I want $10 million PFL, that's the offer. Let's run it back in MMA. Make it fair. I won one, now it's your chance in your home territory. MMA, let's do it.
Jake Paul scoring MMA legend Anderson Spider Silva boxing was wild. This epic showdown went down on October 29, 2022 in the USA, with Anderson Silva and Jake Paul throwing down in one of the year's most hyped 8-round boxing matches. On the right side of the ring, we've got Jake Paul, a social media sensation who's now knocking out competitors in the boxing scene. Racking up a streak of wins that many didn't see coming, Jake's now gunning for Rock, solid cred by taking on big-name opponents. Rocking his iconic black and white shorts, he's already bagged 5 dope wins, 4 by knockout, with no losses or draws. At 25, buzzing with energy, he stands out with a height of 6 feet, an impressive reach of 6 feet 2 inches, and tipping the scales at 180. 6 lubs. Despite Anderson Silva's storied past, Jake has become the fave pick for adrenaline junkies betting on his previous fight performances and intense training grind. On the flip side, we've got Anderson Silva, aka Spider, the former UFC middleweight champ, considered one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. After a stellar UFC career, Silva switched to boxing, proving his slick technical skills and experience still hit hard. This martial arts guru has chalked up 34 crushing wins, including 23 knockouts that have gone down in UFC lore. Now in the boxing world, he steps into the ring in his black and gold shorts, boasting 3 impactful wins, 2 by knockout. This 47-year-old vet of sheer resilience stands 6 feet 2 inches, weighs 185 libs, and has a devastating reach of 6 feet 6 inches, giving him a solid 4-inch reach advantage over his opponent. Before this bout, both fighters squared off against respected opponents. Jake Paul, for instance, faced off with cats like Nate Robinson and Tyron Woodley, showing off his steadily improving boxing chops. Meanwhile, after leaving the octagon, Anderson Silva took on and defeated Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Tito Ortiz in a display of refined technique and impressive adaptation to boxing. Yo, fighter! Before you keep watching, hit that subscribe button so you don't get knocked out. The pre-fight was all about the mind games, especially from Jake Paul, who didn't hold back in his trash talk trying to shake the veteran Silva.
If my opponent is a dickhead, I'm gonna treat him like a dickhead and beat his fucking ass.
You have to be a killer, or you will be killed.
When asked about his comments, Jake doubled down.
I said it's my generation.
I'm fucking him up!
Making it clear he'd show no mercy. Anderson hit back at Jake's attempts to psych him out, standing firm.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. No.
Jake pressed on.
I'm fucking him up! Fucking him up!
When Anderson was asked about his fight against Jake Paul, he said that despite the age gap, he sees himself as a superhero, determined to prove his worth in the ring.
It's crazy because everybody asks me the same. You sure you go do that? He's beating a lot of guys in UFC. You think? Yeah, I say yes. I think I'm ready for that. You know, he's younger than me, but I'm a superhero.
And just one last.
At the press conference, tension spiked when Jake Paul threw down a bold bet.
Hey, wait.
Let's go!
Stop, come on.
I was gonna say if you beat me, I'll get a spider tattoo.
But Silva wasn't playing games and shot back quickly.
No, stop, bro. Let me tell you that. No.
However, Anderson made it clear he's not a fan of tattoos.
I hate tattoos, bro.
I know.
I hate it.
Okay.
I don't have tattoos. You don't need to put in the spy tattoo. I know you're my fan. Don't worry. Hey, wait.
Let's go!
Stop. Come on.
On fight night, Jake walked in cocky, while Silva entered with the chill of someone who's faced giants before. After the ref gave the instructions, the fighters touched gloves and the battle was on. First round. Right from the get-go, the tension was palpable. Jake Paul stepped into the ring with a mix of youth and ferocity, unleashing a barrage of heavy hits. His determination was clear in every move, and after a quick flurry of punches, a right hook landed hard. Anderson Silva, known for his vast experience and skill, wasn't outdone. He countered with a sharp left hook, dodging Jake's blows with ease and sizing up his opponent's every move. Anderson took some hits, but came out almost unscathed, showcasing his ability to handle the heat. The first round ended with Jake Paul slightly ahead, scoring at 10-9, signaling that the fight was going to be tighter than expected. Second round. Right from the start of the second round, Anderson Silva took absolute control, dominating the center of the ring with commanding presence. He quickly cornered Jake Paul against the ropes, unleashing a series of powerful hooks and showing relentless aggression. Even when some punches didn't land flush, Silva's determination was clear in every move. Jake, on the other hand, went more defensive, trying to find an opening to counterstrike Silva. Silva didn't just shine with his technique, but also taunted his opponent, keeping his guard low and laughing off Jake's efforts, clearly messing with the young fighter's head. Each taunt seemed calculated to rattle Jake and gain a mental edge. The round ended with a clear advantage for Spider, scoring at 10-9, tying up the match and setting the stage for a fierce showdown. Third round. The third round kicked off with a significant ramp up in intensity, reflecting the mounting pressure on the fighters. Anderson Silva kept up a high volume of strikes, showcasing his stamina and refined technique. As the intensity of the fight escalated, Jake Paul, feeling the heat from Silva's offense, responded with even more aggression. In a pivotal moment, Jake landed a powerful hook that caused Silva's nose to bleed, marking a crucial point in the fight. Then, the battle heated up even more, with both fighters exchanging blows ferociously. In critical moments, Jake grabbed Anderson to try to slow down the frenetic pace of the fight. When the third round concluded, Jake scored at 10-9, making it clear the fight was far from over. Fourth round. At the start of the fourth round, Jake Paul came in even more pumped, launching a flurry of strikes. Although some of these missed the mark, he managed to score significant points. Anderson Silva, however, wasn't intimidated and capitalized on every opening Jake left to counterattack. In a particularly intense moment, Anderson delivered a series of hooks that had Jake relieved to hear the gong ending the round. Although Anderson came back strong, Jake maintained his edge, ending the fourth round ahead by 10-9, thus widening his lead in the total fight score. Fifth round. As the fifth round kicked off, both fighters were showing clear signs of fatigue, yet the intensity of the fight stayed sky high. Jake Paul started the round with renewed aggression, trying to set the pace right from the get-go. However, it was Anderson Silva who quickly took the initiative, displaying solid defense and strategic counterattacks that kept Jake on constant alert. Anderson dominated most of the round, moving with precision and capitalizing on every opening Jake left. Each of Anderson's strikes seemed calculated to maximize impact, and his experience shone through as he controlled the fight's tempo. The round ended with a clear advantage for Anderson Silva, scoring it 10-9. With this score, he was just 1 point behind Jake Paul, highlighting that the contest was far from over and promising a fierce and thrilling fight to the finish. Sixth round. In the sixth round, the energy in the arena hit a new high, with the crowd going wild as Jake Paul unleashed a series of powerful and rapid combinations. Each punch was delivered with force and determination, aiming to dominate Anderson Silva from the start. Yet Anderson, with his vast experience and refined technique, skillfully dodged Jake's attacks and responded with his own precise strikes, balancing the contest. Every move Anderson made showcased his ability to read and counterattack, keeping the fight exciting and unpredictable. As the round progressed, the exchange of blows kept the tension high. Anderson displayed incredible stamina, but at the end of the round, it was Jake who came out on top. The sixth round ended with a slight advantage for Jake Paul, scoring it 10-9. With this score, Jake opened up a 2-point lead, making the fight even more thrilling and putting pressure on Anderson Silva to make up ground in the upcoming rounds. Seventh round. With tension at its peak, the seventh round began with Jake Paul going all out against Anderson, determined to maintain his lead. He launched a series of fierce strikes, trying to overpower Anderson Silva. However, Anderson, showing his incredible stamina and skill, didn't back down. He managed to corner Jake against the ropes, responding with a sequence of powerful straights and hooks that got the crowd roaring. In a critical moment, Jake landed a precise hook to Anderson's abdomen, a blow that would have taken down many other fighters. Anderson, however, proved why he is considered a living legend, standing firm and continuing to fight with determination and courage. The round ended with a slight advantage for Jake Paul, scoring it 10-9. With this score, Jake increased his lead to 3 points, making it clear he was determined to emerge victorious. At this point in the fight, Anderson Silva had no chance of winning on points, leaving him with only the possibility of knocking out Jake Paul. Eighth round. In the eighth round, Anderson Silva had to go all out to win the fight, but Jake was just as hungry for victory and was giving it his all too. The crowd watched in suspense as Jake Paul and Anderson Silva exchanged heavy blows, each displaying impressive strength and endurance. Anderson, at several points, managed to corner Jake against the ropes, unleashing a series of powerful punches that fired up the crowd and showcased his experience and technique. However, in a critical moment, Jake Paul scored a decisive knockdown, dropping Anderson with a precise hit. The arena fell silent for a moment, but the veteran Anderson Silva, showing his incredible determination and fighting spirit, quickly got back up, ready to keep going until the last second. The fight ended with a wide advantage for Jake Paul, who after the knockdown left no doubt that he had won that round, but this time with an even bigger score of 10-8. With that score, Jake solidified his lead with a 5-point advantage, making it clear that his determination and skill earned him a unanimous decision victory in this epic battle.
Anytime, any place.
After the announcement, Anderson applauded Jake and hugged him, acknowledging the sportsmanship and shared passion for the fight. With this win, the YouTuber earned an impressive payday. It's estimated that Jake Paul received a flat rate of $1.5 million, plus 65% of the pay-per-view revenue, racking up a total of $5 million. While Spider didn't hit the same numbers, he also secured a significant amount. Some sources speculate that he received around $500,000, plus 35% of the pay-per-view, totaling $1.5 million. Anderson Silva didn't seem to take the loss too well, as he expressed interest in a rematch, believing in his potential to beat him in a future bout. Jake, on the other hand, seemed open to the idea, setting the stage for maybe another big event. Loved watching this epic showdown? Then you'll freak out on the day Holyfield thrashed Mike Tyson. Curious? Then just hit up the video that's popping up on your screen and check out this legendary fight. Enjoy watching this epic showdown? Then you'll flip out on the day Holyfield beat down Mike Tyson. Curious? Then just hit up the video popping up on your screen and check out this legendary fight.